All right, so that was our second tier of madness.
Okay, now for the now for the ultimate tier of madness. Can I say the line?
Say it.
Evil, pure and simple from the eighth dimension.
Yes, we watched The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the eighth dimension, which occurs to me, Daniel,
Mhm.
he really only goes into the eighth dimension once in the movie,
Yes, he does. Yeah,
towards the start even.
yeah, and then they never goes back. Uh, and let's see, Ninja says a problem. The type of shows are for millennials only, not for people who want something.
For
Yeah, yeah,
for those watching
playback.
the
Yeah,
clipped up playbacks, he's talking about the Amazing Digital Circus, which was our previous review.
right. Yeah. Um,
So, Holy Ninja asks, "Is this the return of form for reviewing movies for the memes?" The, this is one that's been. Like, how can you not hear the name Buckaroo Banzai Adventures Across the Eighth Dimension and wonder what it's about?
yeah,
Because I've been seeing this thing like on movie store shelves for 20 years, which I believe is when the DVD was released. It was roughly 20 years ago.
yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah, I thought I had bought it on DVD, but I went through my collection. I couldn't find it. I must have rented it on Netflix. Because I watched it. I watched this in college once, and I just remember thinking, I have no idea what I'm watching.
Daniel, after a second view, do you have any idea what you're watching?
A little better, not a lot
Yeah,
better, but a little
yeah.
better.
I mean, geez, Daniel, it's not that complicated of a concept. It's about a samurai, half Japanese,
Yeah.
brain surgeon, jazz singer, comic book star, adventurer, astrophysicist
Yeah.
who uh, who discovers a organism hiding inside of a mountain when he goes into the eighth dimension, eh, and this discovery causes the evil John Lithgow to escape from a mental hospital to, in order to team up with the other aliens who've been hiding on the Earth since the 40s
Yes.
to steal the device that let him do it.
Yeah, and then a whole bunch of other stuff happens along the way, like them encountering other aliens from the same planet.
Yep. All named John.
Yeah, they're all named John. Yeah, and one of the aliens is played by Christopher Lloyd, and his name is John Big Booty.
Big Booty. Big Booty.
Yeah, so DV just, of course, just gave it the basics of the plot. The rest of it is just a lot of weird stuff and uh, action scenes and romantic subplots and
Yeah, about an amnesiac girl who's the uh, lost twin sister of the Queen of Denmark, or was it,
yes,
or the Netherlands? One of those countries,
Netherlands, yeah,
Netherlands,
well, yeah.
who who happened to be Buckaroo Banzai's deceased ex-wife.
Yeah. And they were born in okay, they were born in Cody, Wyoming, which I've been to Cody, Wyoming. I'm like, Cody, Wyoming, of all places.
Was this movie written by Madlib?
Probably.
All right, now name a place, name a profession. Queen of the Netherlands.
Oh man.
Oh, and Jeff Goldblum is in it.
Yes, and as you were saying when we were watching this and talking about it, dressed up like a neon sign from Las Vegas.
Yeah, just like a not Las Vegas neon sign cowboy. Even
Yeah,
though his character, like he's not from Texas or
yeah,
anywhere where they actually have cowboys. It's just the the aesthetic he has chosen for himself.
Yeah.
Uh, He is also a brain surgeon.
Yes. Yeah. They call him New Jersey because he's from New Jersey.
So just like everything in this movie is so random.
Yeah.
I would say that it- it's in that category of movies where you don't know exactly what you're watching, but it's pretty compelling regardless.
Yeah, yeah. You're not entirely sure what's going on, but it's like, but you're just kind of along for the ride, and you're like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're entertained, despite the fact that you're going. I have no idea what's going on in this movie. I don't know why they're doing that. Why are they going there now? Why is that happening here? What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I just keep thinking of these weird scenes. Like they kept it's like they kept going with the intentionally worst take they could all the time.
yeah,
Because characters are constantly stammering or they'll start a line and then repeat it again.
yeah. The actors are trying not to crack up in the scene.
Yeah, it's just he's a character like Buckaroo Banzai is the biggest Mary Sue in the entire universe, and it has the basic plotting ability of a fan fiction.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and oh god, what was I was gonna say? John Lithgow, like,
Oh, perfect casting for an Italian alien with, or I don't know if I couldn't decide if he had always been an alien, but he was just in disguise, or if
yeah,
he accidentally, because like he used an early version of the warping machine
yeah,
and proceeded
and
to go insane and kill people.
yeah, and if you notice in that scene, in that first scene with him, or the flashback scene before he gets possessed, like he doesn't say a word. He
Yeah,
doesn't
so maybe
talk.
he wasn't even Italian, but although his name was Lizardo. So
Yeah,
though, okay, so here's a question for you that just hit me. Was his first name John?
yes.
Okay, so he was one of the aliens because all the aliens are inexplicably named John.
Yeah, they would go back and forth between calling him Lizardo and then John Wharton, something like that. Wharton. Yeah,
Orphan, yeah.
yeah, and yeah, and what was the one the security guard was like John's berries or something like that? Something with berries in it.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know.
Also, I hope that they paid the actress who played Buckaroo Banzai's love interest really well, because they just put her through the most miserable shooting conditions throughout the entire movie. Always like in deep or in shallow water, being attacked by people or strapped down to torture devices.
Yeah, having like weird bugs coming crawling up on her, and
Yeah, like they were pouring ants on her as they're because of course aliens from another dimension are going to immediately jump to ants as a way to interrogate people and force information out of them.
yeah. Oh man,
And of course the good aliens are all Jamaican because why not?
yes. Yeah, and yeah, one of them was John Parker, no relation. Um, God, I can't remember the name of the actor's name, but he was the voice of Martian Manhunter in the Justice
Oh,
League animated series.
okay. Yeah, I can hear that now that you mention it.
Mm. But yeah, it's
Oh, and like when they get the Princess Leia moment where head the head Rasta alien is telling them about the evil plan of the villain. At
yeah,
the end of it, she's like, "End of discussion." And I immediately texted Daniel. I was like, "That wasn't a discussion. That was exposition dump because
yeah,
that was a recording that they were playing." I think.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Like this is so a first draft, just
Oh,
a
it is. Yeah,
complete first draft. Like it's just so bizarre.
yeah, yeah, and And of course, you were saying too that you thought you thought it was cute, but they thought they were going to get a sequel.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, they have this. Apparently, it's a famous enough scene that I finally get a joke from one of the AMV Hell videos, where like, all the characters just walking through this concrete platform, like I guess on a hydroelectric
Oh,
dam or something.
that looked that looked like the L.A. River actually.
Oh, that could be it.
It could have been the LA or it's something like that. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah,
I
but
was like
yeah,
they just had this song going in the background, dee 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 dee, and it just like confidently walking along as they set up the credits.
yeah,
Because like there's too many characters to keep track of, and nothing really makes sense. But it's
yeah,
just it kind of reminded me a little bit of The Room. Like it's more competent than The Room,
yeah.
but it's similar sort of. Actually, no. The Room is a bad example. You know what this is? This is Axe Cop.
Oh, I never saw that one.
Okay, so Axe Cop was a webcomic and a cartoon on Fox that was the tale. It was basically a cartoonist would have his little 6-year-old brother tell him stories about this Axe Cop character, and he would turn his ramblings into a story about a similar sort of Mary Sue-ish guy who could do impossible things. And it was just full of child logic. And I think that's what this is. This is like it's like a little bit more developed than that because it does have like a sense of, like there's like sexual desire and stuff in it.
Mhm.
So it's slightly more horny than that, but you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
it's a
yeah,
similar sort of little kid logic of how a story should be told.
yeah. And of course he had the other part of it too was that they're the threatening nuclear war with Russia.
Oh yeah, like was the president getting like some sort of rectal surgery or something? Because he was strapped to like every time you saw him, he was strapped to this gurney with his arms stretched out.
I think he was having it looked like physical therapy for his back.
Oh right,
I think that's what it was. Yeah, but yeah, it looked weird.
like everything in this movie is weird. Uh, Daniel, you were telling me a story that we shouldn't feel bad if we don't understand what was happening in this movie,
Yeah, yeah, because well, because Peter Weller didn't know what was happening in this movie.
and he was Buckaroo Banzai himself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you watch the documentary, the mega documentary, In Search of Tomorrow, this movie was profiled in that. And they interviewed Peter Weller and Tom or not Tom Clancy Brown. And Peter Weller's just like, yeah, I have no idea what this movie was about. And he's like, he said somebody has to explain it to me because I mean, this movie came out almost 40 years ago, and he's like, I still don't know what's going on. I don't know what it's about, and neither did Clancy Brown. He's like, but to them it had to make sense, because they had to act like they knew what they were talking about.
Right. Yeah, so they say they're nonsense with so much dedication and sureness.
Yeah. And there was a scene where when Jeff Goldblum's delivering a line, and Clancy Brown's kind of looking down like this because he's trying not to crack up.
Yeah, that's one of the scenes where he starts his line and then starts it again.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
uh,
and it was almost like the director's like, "Ah, good enough."
this also really has the feel of like a 50s sci-fi B movie with an 80s budget and special effects level.
Yeah, yeah, I got that feeling too. Yeah, and yeah, it's definitely drive-in worthy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, is it the greatest movie ever? Of course. It's just beyond our feeble third dimensional brain's abilities to understand.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So we aren't nearly as intelligent as Buckaroo Banzai.
No, clearly, I mean, I'm barely a brain surgeon. I'm definitely not a samurai. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. Yeah. Or a musician or
yeah.
Well, well, to cap off this review, to have another quote from Buckaroo Banzai: "No matter where you go, there you are."
That faux philosophical depth is so this movie, just in a nutshell.
Hey, oh yes. So yeah, so if you were so inclined to watch it, watch this movie, yeah, give it a watch. It's on Tubi.
Yep, which means you don't even need a subscription, which means you could be you do nobody ever has to know that you watched this
Right, yeah. Or
if you're embarrassed.
exactly, yeah. Or it's also I believe Shout Factory has put this out on Blu-ray. So if you want to get a copy of the Blu-ray, yeah, go
Have that.
have at it.